guest game. Look at that stinger. Isn't that pretty? Nice little pretty old stinger.
Right.
All right. Mr. YLP, I've had you on a podcast of mine before. Shout out to my time with Zach on the Talking with Tara podcast. Rest in peace for that podcast for now.
Not even gonna lie, that was a time, bro. And I still see like the reels on IG every once in a while of like what we were doing on that show. It was nuts.
Dude, it took me a long time to post all those reels too. I was just like, I got some of these in the bank.
Every moment, dude. Worth it.
Yeah, I cut the shit out of that podcast. But that's a story for another day. We played the Unknown Unnamed Nonsense game. Ricky was an alumni of that show as well. We played Unknown Unnamed Nonsense.
Yes, I am.
That was a lot of fun. Anyway, first guest game. So the first question of the first guest game, where we ask all of our first guests, how did you become a wrestling fan? What got you into this crazy world of sports entertainment, aka professional wrestling? Who do we have to thank?
To thank Hogan fucking Goldberg. Without that match as a kid at like 9 years old, I would not be sitting here with y'all today. 100%. That night, beautiful. Everything as a kid, you want Goldberg. And I love Hogan too, but I wanted Goldberg to win in Atlanta in the Georgia Dome at 9. You sold me.
So you stumbled across it, or did someone introduce it to you?
I stumbled across it myself because I just was like Saturday afternoons. You're just seeing like WCW Saturday night, and I'm just like watching with my grandma in the background talking mess. It's like, it's fake, right? It's not fake.
Even at a young age, he knew it was scripted.
Yeah, it's choreographed. Everything still hurts. Yeah. It was like I saw a clip not too long ago of Roddy Piper. This was in like '97. Roddy Piper and someone else on like a show. I think it was not Bill Maher. It was not his real time.
Oh, I know the one you're talking about. And
it was like politically incorrect. I think the name of the show was. And Bill Maher's just like, it's fake, okay?
Roddy destroyed him.
Yeah, like there's no bumps or bruises or scars, which I never thought about it. Like, yeah, wrestlers don't really get bruised, which I think was fucking wild to me. But Piper's just like, look at this hip. It's like, do you see this hip?
Yeah.
He's like, I'm about to smack the shit out of
you. He literally dropped his pants. Like,
undid his buckle, dropped his pants. Like, this is my hip. This is my hip. Like, look at it. Touch it.
Oh my God.
Fucking nuts, dude.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
It was amazing.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyway, okay. Second question of the first guest game. Who is your favorite wrestler of all time? And who is your favorite wrestler currently? And tell me why both are Jungle Boy.
You wish on your life, but it is definitely not, unfortunately for you, sir. No, all time, Austin, 100%.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, like 100%. Like, he is the reason like I am the smart ass that I am, because I saw that portrayed on telly, and I'm just like, I can do that too. And then after I found out with my mom's, but that's a whole different story for another day.
Well, no. Hold on. Please do not tell me you gave your mom a Stone Cold Stunner.
No.
Oh, okay. All right.
I let her chop me though.
You gave her the bird.
Oh wow. And you live to tell the story.
I gave my mom the bird too on accident one time. My older brother and I think his friends were talking about it, and they're like, "Hey, Will, go up to your mother and ask what this means." So I was probably like 5, and I go. My mom's. I remember, I'll never forget this. My mom's doing the dishes, and I tug on her leg. I go, "Mom, what does this mean?" I'm like putting it in her face. I'm like, what does this mean? And my mom just like look on her face, was just like, who taught you this? Like, what's going on here?
It's amazing.
Oh.
So I off my mom. I'm lucky I didn't get hit with the plate she was washing or the pan.
Yeah. My God. Okay, what was it? Favorite wrestler?
That'll do it.
No. So Stone Cold favorite of all time. Who's your favorite wrestler currently?
Yeah. Oh. I always have like these 3 people in my head all the time, but I always know it's one. It's Ospreay for me right now.
Jungle Boy. I know. I knew it's Jungle Boy.
No.
Will Ospreay? Yeah. Okay.
Will Ospreay. How? Because it's usually between him and Moxley for me at all times. Like it's always those two.
It's not bad. I like that.
But like right now, Ospreay's that dude going in.
All right. Well, all right.
What?
Let's keep it going.
I can't argue that. I got a fellow Will's got to support his Wills.
That's
so yeah,
true.
Will Ospreay for the win.
It's like the
There you go.
Legion of Wills.
You have a non-wrestling fan coming over to your house, and you have to show him him or her, one match to try and get them hooked on wrestling. What match do you show them and why?
Omega Okada 2 out of 3 falls match. And it's not even like
no hesitation.
Wow.
None.
You know, usually people like have to think about that.
It's a tough question. It's a very tough question.
Is. Not in my mind. Dude, I will put it like this. And this is like legitimate. This is like one of those matches and one of the very few matches in my life that literally brought me to tears.
Oh,
wow.
Okay.
To me, that was like, there's a reason that I forget what thing it was like 2018, if I'm not mistaken. Like, that's the reason that was my match of the year. That match, like, easy. Like you want to see theater, you want to see like what I believe pro wrestling is. I will put that match on. We will sit back. We will have popcorn and snacks and drinks, and we will watch.
I remember seeing Omega Okada 2, I think, obviously on a stream because I'm not paying for NJPW World. Thanks, Dave. But I think that's the one I saw. I was like, wow, this is really good because it was a very seamless. If I remember correctly, it was a very seamless. It was kind of a spectrum of sports and entertainment where you had the 2 out of 3s. And what I think I commented on the show about it. What I liked about it was that you actually saw breaks in between the falls where they can like recover. So it made it look kind of like a boxing match, but it wasn't a boxing match.
Young Bucks in the corner of Omega, and I believe Gato was in the corner of Okada with that match.
Yeah, no, that was a really, really good match. I remember that. So
that's really smart. That's a really smart thing to do. Like, that's a really nice little detail.
Yeah.
In kayfabe, just to give him 3 minutes or a minute or two in between.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
It sells it, because otherwise, 2 out of 3 falls. Like, why don't you just pin him twice? He's right there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No, it's a designated rest period.
Yeah.
That's actually really smart.
Yeah. Everything about ring psychology in that match was just on 10 for me. And there's just no other, I think, if I'm not mistaken, that was one of the, at the time, the rare 6-star match given by Dave Meltzer. I could be wrong.
Was that before he started doing decimal points?
Probably. It was 5.23.
Yeah, he started doing the Dave method. If I'm not
mistaken, he gave that 6.
Yeah.
He said he put that that was his rare 6.
No, he would do 3 1/4 in the early aughts in the 90s.
Yeah.
That's he would do quarter, 3/4, or just a dud. But that was probably one of his first 6-star matches.
Yes.
And Meltzer loves making sure his own method doesn't make any sense.
That's very true. That's a very true statement. I don't understand it either, but I'll deal with it.
Did that match have a promo video? Because whenever I ask this question, the caveat is the promo video leading up to the match is included in the match. Because when you're showing someone a wrestling match for the first time, they need to know the story going in, so they're invested in it, and the match itself needs to tell a good story. Or something I just want to show someone a bloodbath. Which is just I get it.
Yeah.
I'm going to show someone JBL Eddie Guerrero and just watch their face as it melts off their body.
The only thing that sucks about that match, though, is the entire promo video is literally in Japanese. So, we're going to figure that out.
No help.
I know subtitles. Oh, whatever. All right, let's keep going.
Figure it out.
What's your finisher, bitch? So if you were a wrestler, what would your finisher be? Describe it and give it a name.
I've already had it in my head for years. It's the name of my finisher. It's called the Black Dahlia.
Wow, the murders? And
I've been kind of fumbling around with it every Yeah, I know. Fumbling with how I would do the finisher, modified moves. But yeah, literally, Tiger Driver 91, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, I either that or I literally, because the way I see it is I literally modified J Driller, but I literally want to sell it to it's destroying your neck. I want you to go out, type of thing.
Okay.
I want it yeah.
So what's that setup like then? Are you doing fireman's carry? Are you doing double underhook?
Yeah, I'm thinking full double underhook. And just laying it in.
Okay.
Sit down and just
So you're gonna double underhook. You're gonna lift them up. Are they going? Is their stomach on your shoulder, and then you're like kind of giving them a driver?
Yeah, 100%.
That can be done in a weird way, but it can be done.
Yes, it can. Like I wanted to like look like, damn, he destroyed that man with that.
So
move.
it's like a mix of like a double underhook power bomb mixed with like a Rikishi driver.
Yeah.
It's just do the pearl river plunge. Do it.
Hell no.
Do it. What's his name?
Wasn't that
God.
was it Ahmed Johnson? Yes.
Doing a pearl river.
Yes.
Ahmed Johnson. He had him in a pedigree, lifted him up, and then power bombed him.
Yeah.
Phenomenal finisher. That would be.
I think that was my original favorite finisher. Like the first one, I was like, that's freaking awesome.
Like, yeah, I always say like I'm gonna do a. I always start in a pedigree position. I'm gonna either lift you up and take it to an Alabama slam, or I'm gonna slam you down like a pearl river plunge.
Nice.
My finishing move is definitely a power bomb. I'm a sucker for a good power bomb.
Very fair, very fair. All right, we got 2 more, right? Yeah.
We have 2 more.
Yeah, 2 more.
What am I missing?
The one that you're missing is the one that this is why I write stuff down. So take notes, folks. How did you find out about us? Even though we know we know this question, but how did you find out about us?
You know why I just get this question? Because the answer is always the same. Ricky.
Well, no, you were a part of this one.
I was.
Yeah.
I remember.
Yes.
I remember.
Yes.
I remember the phone call.
Yes. Yeah, so like, are we telling the whole thing? I can tell the whole thing.
Tell the story.
Go into it. We've got time.
Okay, so as a crazy lad going into like towards the end of 2019, and me talking a whole bunch of mess on Twitter and whatnot, X, whatever you want to call it, I don't care. All of a sudden I become like cool with these 2 happening cats, by the name of Will and Ricky. But it was more so.
It was just me.
Just talking mess over Twitter.
It was me, and then I told Will.
It was more so Ricky. But Will's spirit was there nonetheless. So yeah, I'm going back and forth with Ricky a lot. But having our spats, having our somewhat disagreements, but also at the same time, agreeing on certain things. That same time period, going into 2019, I'm somehow nominated for the Wrestling Podcast Awards for Newcomer of the Year, which I didn't even see coming. I didn't know what was happening, and I didn't even know it was a thing. And I'm just like, what? So after that, basically, I get a hit up by Mr. Ricky. We talk a little bit, wanted me to bring me into the fold. And then that's when I also met Will, the beautiful devil he is. And we all had a nice little kumbaya session, little trio session, if you will. And it somehow we became like, the vibe was right. It felt good to actually like see the vision that y'all had for Wrestle Addict Radio moving forward. And I was just like, I was over the moon to just like, wait, all of this is happening at once like that. But then like actually talking with you guys and getting to know you guys a little bit, it just felt right. And I'm just like, I would be a fool to say no to this opportunity. And somehow 4 years later, we are still here.
Yeah, that's very true. I remember suggesting it to Will, and then I had Will listen to your show, and I think that's what sold Will. I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I heard it was a solo show.
Yeah,
and I struggle greatly listening to solo shows because I can't keep focus. Total me problem. I also can't do solo shows for the same reason because I just go on and on and on and on. I don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about anymore. But listening to a show, and I think it was the music you put on.
It was the background music, I think, for you, yeah.
Yeah, and I was just like, yeah, this is phenomenal. Like, I can actually listen to it and pay attention and understand what you're saying. And I was like, this is a phenomenal podcast. He's like, don't want to talk about bringing them on. I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, there's only a couple of solo shows that I will tolerate, and they all happen to be wrestling shows. One is Mr. YLP's, and the first one is Mance. I think Mance does an absolutely phenomenal one-man show.
Mm-hmm.
Like, shout out to Mance Chapel and the Mr. Delight.
One time for Mance Chapel.
Yeah.
Like, dude,
Mance's one-man shows were amazing, especially when he gets mad. When he would, there was a time.
He gives the podcast.
Yeah. Goldberg versus Wyatt. That's all you need to hear.
There was a series because he used to do retro stuff. He did Game Show NXT for a while. That was amazing. He recapped Game Show NXT and he hated it. It was so funny.
So I remember him in our group chat always complaining about like 2001 WCW.
Yeah. Who wasn't complaining about 2001 WCW?
This.
What the hell? I'm right there with him. Shout out to Mance, man. Holy shit.
Yeah,
dude.
hope Mance is
Hope doing well.
Yeah. All right. Final question, Will.
For real.
Final question. I remember this one. I can't forget this one. The final and most important question of the first guest game. Are you Team Slack or are you Team Fuck You Slack? Don't answer all at once.
Always and forever, Team Fuck You Slack.
You and everyone else.
That's right, baby.
Have been since day one, and it's not even since day one-ish indeed, bro. It's always Team Fuck You Slack.
Yeah.
Out of love and respect. That's why.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, the Slack gets no love and or respect from me at all. Never, ever.
I know you didn't sense the sarcasm. How dare you?
Never, ever from me. I gotta keep on living the gimmick. So that concludes our first guest game. Welcome to the show, finally, Mr. YLP.